Okay, hello everyone. I'm back with another video. In this video, we're going to be looking at how to send Python emails in very few lines of code using a module that I've created called FlashMail. So FlashMail is a really powerful, easy, and customizable email library in Python that will allow you to send really amazing emails with very few lines of code. Okay, so let's get right into the system requirements that are necessary for FlashMail to function. So there's two major requirements, which are the Python 3 and pip and Windows or Mac OS desktop operating system. So quick overview of pip3. Pip3 is the Python package installer that will allow you to install Python packages, and it should be installed default when installing Python. So we're going to be using pip3 to install FlashMail. So let's get started. All the documentation will be available on flashmail.surge.sh, which is a website that I have created that goes in depth about all the features that FlashMail offers, and currently I'm also working on adding more features of a more object-oriented programming way of doing this, but right now it also works and it's pretty powerful. Okay, so let's jump right into the installation. So the first thing that you have to do is open up command prompt on Windows or terminal on Mac and type pip3 install FlashMail, and through pip3, you can easily install FlashMail, and after installing you should get some message that designates successful installation. Okay, so let's jump right into the code. So the first step is to import FlashMail, and just run this one line of code and make sure everything is working successfully. You should not get any errors if you import FlashMail in your Python script and run it. The next step is to create a send-to-mail variable, and this is the person who will receive the email. Next step is to create a variable for your own email. And then for your password is not stored. If you want to be safe, you can even put it as an environment variable, but none of this information is stored. Subject is your email's subject, and your message, which is the actual content of your email. And then you have to send the email using the .send email function in FlashMail. So you can say flashmail.send email and pass in those parameters as arguments. And it's that easy to send an email with FlashMail. Technically, it's like one line of code if you're excluding the necessary stuff that you have to do, but it's really amazing. So if you run this code and you check your email, or you check the person's email that will have got the email, and they do not get the email, instead there's an error in your code. This is common if you're doing this for the first time, and you have to remove this authentication error. And to do this, you have to go to myaccount.google.com/lesssecureapps and just enable that to be true for FlashMail to access your Google account to send it to the send-to-email variable. So if you're unsure about this, FlashMail does not save any of your information. None of it is stored, and you can disable this less secure apps right after you send your email if you're unsure about it, but it should not be a problem. So then you should check your email after rerunning the program, and hopefully you should have got an email, or the person who you sent it to hopefully got an email. So in the next section of the video, we're going to be talking about how you can customize your email by adding attachments, HTML modifications, and colors to your email, and fonts and stuff like that using HTML and CSS. Thank you. Okay, so welcome to the HTML modifications section of the FlashMail video. So first of all, what is HTML and what are HTML modifications? So HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, and it's the foundational language that is used to construct and develop web-based applications, or websites. And in our situation, we want to maybe create bold text or italics text in our emails, maybe change the font size, add animations, and things like that. And to do that, we can use this web HTML technology and incorporate it into our Python project and easily add these animations. So if you're not familiar with HTML, this next part may be a little bit tricky for you, but HTML is really, really easy to pick up, and it's one of the most simplest technologies to learn. So I hope people who don't know HTML find this hopefully to be a bit not too hard. Okay, so let's get started looking at an HTML example where we make some text in our email bold. So the first step, as always, is to import FlashMail. Then we'll create our send-to-mail variable once again. We'll create our variable for our email, password, subject, then we'll create our message variable, and then this is the most important variable, and this is the HTML message variable that we have to create. Okay, it's just a string, it's just another variable, but the string inside, the content of the string of the HTML variable is actual HTML code. So if we observe this HTML message string, you see that we have this is, and then we have what's known as a strong tag, and anything inside of strong tags becomes bold in HTML. So we have open and close brace strong, and inside we have bold, and then open and close brace strong with a slash at the beginning. And one thing that you have to remember that's extremely important is that your message variable and your HTML message variable are exactly the same, but your message has HTML in it. Your HTML message has HTML in it. I'm going to repeat that because it's really important. Your message and HTML message variable have to be the same, except your HTML message has to have HTML. For example, I can't have like 2 spaces after this in the HTML message variable. It has to match exactly with the message variable, except you're just adding HTML. And once again, you're going to say flashmail.sendEmail and pass in all of those as parameters. So now let's take a look at a few more things that we can do with the HTML modifications. Another addition of HTML modifications is the ability to add italics text to italicized text. So you can create our message variable once again, but this time our HTML message variable will have an I tag and a closing I tag, and anything inside of that will be italicized. Next, we can change the text color in our emails by creating a message variable, and this is like the more complex part, I would say. So you create an HTML message variable and you set it equal to, and you have to set it equal to a multi-line string in Python. So a multi-line string is created with 3 quotes and beginning and end. So you can say HTML message is equal to 3 quotes backslash, and then you end it at the end. You can see that there's 3 quotes, and anything inside is basically your string, which is multi-line. So inside of this HTML message, we have actual HTML code. So we have opening and closing HTML tags, head tags, and then we have body tags. So body tags in HTML are the things that actually display the content of a website, in this case, the email. So we say the word, and then we create a div tag, and we style it with color green. And so we have the word green is a green color. And note that it matches exactly with the message variable, except the HTML message is populated and styled by HTML and CSS. Okay, and I think I forgot to mention what CSS is. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets, and it's the language that styles HTML, like adding colors to HTML text and font sizes and animations and stuff like that. So together, HTML and CSS are the technologies, foundational technologies that are used in web, you could say. Next, you can also change the font size using CSS. So you can say message is equal to the word large is large, and once again we create that multi-line string called HTML message. We open and close HTML tags, head tags, and inside of our body, This time we style the word large with a font size of 100 pixels. And it is actually pretty large. So, if you run the code, you can test it out. And yeah, that's it for HTML modification. There's one thing that I forgot to mention, and that is that HTML modification is huge. You can do a lot in HTML modification. These are just a few examples. So if you actually learn more about HTML, then you'll notice that there's tons and tons of things that you can do with HTML and CSS that you can incorporate into this HTML message string really easily to create some amazing email content. But, to create some basic structure in emails, some basic color font sizes, and stuff like that, this should work. Okay, welcome to the last section of the video, adding attachments to our emails. You may want to add an image or maybe a PDF or something that goes along with your email that supplements the content. So we're going to look at how to do that. So first we have to take a look at our directory structure. So you're going to have a project folder, and then in that project folder you have your Python script or your Python file, and then you have any attachments that you want. You can also specify the path, which I will give a quick example of right now. Okay, so let's take a look at the code. So we want to import FlashMail. We want to create a send to email, or your email, the password, the subject, the message, and then we want to specify any file names that you have. So maybe your file name 1, and maybe you have another one as well. Maybe you want to attach multiple, and file name 2. Next, you want to use the flashmail.send email function once again. You want to specify everything, but in the end, after message, you have to say file names is equal to, and a list of the file name variables. And this is just the list where you can pass in as many files as you want, and you don't even have to create it as a variable. You can just pass it in to this function. So also note that you can use HTML modifications alongside the attachments code, and you can combine them. Okay, that's it. Thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing to support my channel. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you.